A girl sits on a low wooden stool in a one-room house in a hill town nobody important has ever visited. The town is called Nazareth. The girl is mending the seam of a garment. Her name is Mary. She is young, 15, maybe 16. The sun is low through the window. And then the room fills with light. Not the light of sunset, something else, something alive. And a voice says, "Hail, favored one, the Lord is with you." And the first thing Mary feels is not joy, it's not wonder, it's fear. The kind of fear that stops your breath, the kind that makes you wonder if you're about to die. The angel sees it. And the very first words out of his mouth are not, "Congratulations." They are not, "You've been chosen." The first words are, "Do not be afraid." 2 words, that's all. 2 words spoken to a terrified girl in a one-room house in Nazareth. But here's what most people miss. Those 2 words, "do not be afraid," do not appear once in the Bible. They do not appear 100 times. They appear, by most counts, 360 times, one for every day of the year, whispered to prophets, shouted to armies, spoken in dreams, spoken in visions, spoken in the darkness when nobody else could hear. You can ask yourself right now, why? Why would God repeat the exact same command again and again across 2,000 years of Scripture? Why not be brave, or have courage, or trust me? Why these 2 words over and over? There's one moment, though, that stands out. One moment when God says these words under circumstances so overwhelming that the person who hears them cannot stand. On a black volcanic rock in the middle of the Aegean Sea called Patmos, an old man falls on his face before a vision, and the voice that speaks to him is the same voice that spoke to Mary. But this moment, this one moment, will teach us why God kept saying the same 2 words for 4,000 years. We will get to that moment, but not yet. First, we need to understand what fear actually does. Fear is not in your mind, it's in your body. Your heart accelerates, your breathing quickens, blood drains from your face, your muscles tense. You are, in that moment, preparing to run or fight. Your body does not care if the danger is real or imagined. It simply reacts. And when you are afraid, truly afraid, you are not thinking clearly. You are surviving. The Hebrew word for this is yare. Yah does not just mean fear. It means standing in awe with shaking knees. It means trembling before something greater than yourself. It means dread mixed with reverence. And when God says, "Fear not," He is not saying, "Do not respect my power." He is saying, "Yes, I am terrifying. Yes, what you are feeling is rational, but do not let that terror isolate you." Do you understand the difference? Do not be afraid does not mean do not feel afraid. It means do not be ruled by your fear. Do not let it separate you from me. Let's go back to the beginning, to Abram. Abram is old. He is 75 years old when God calls him to leave his country, his people, his father's household. He obeys. He travels to Canaan, to Egypt, back to Canaan. He gathers possessions. He gathers people. He gathers livestock. He builds altars. He believes God has promised him a son, a descendant as numerous as the stars. But Abram is afraid, not of God's power. Abram has seen that. He is afraid of enemies. He fears that Chedorlaomer, the king of Elam, will come back and kill him. He fears that everything will be taken from him. He lies awake at night, thinking about all the ways his promise could be destroyed. And then, in Genesis chapter 15, God speaks to him in a vision, and the very first words are, "Fear not, Abram, I am your shield." Not your fortress, not your weapon, your shield, the thing that stands between you and harm, the thing that protects you. I am that. But it gets stranger from here. Jump forward 400 years. Moses. a man who has seen the plagues of Egypt, who has watched God humiliate the gods of Pharaoh one by one, who has led 2 million people out of slavery. Moses is standing at the Red Sea. Behind him, the ocean. Before him, 600 of Pharaoh's chariots. Egyptian soldiers are screaming. The wheels of war chariots are thundering. The ground is shaking. And the people are screaming at Moses, "Why did you bring us out here to die?" And Moses says to them, "Do not be afraid. Stand firm and see the deliverance the Lord will bring you today. Not run, not build a boat, not surrender. Stand firm in the face of an army, in the face of death. Stand firm and watch what I do." Then Joshua, a young man, untested. Moses is dead. Joshua is now the leader of 2 million people, and he is terrified. He has to cross a river he has never crossed, enter a land he has never seen, fight enemies he does not know. He is paralyzed by the weight of it. And God says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be terrified. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." Pay attention to this. God does not say, "You will win every battle." God does not say, "Everything will be easy." God says, "I will be with you." That is the only promise, not safety, not success, presence. Now jump forward centuries to the prophet Elisha. A servant of Elisha wakes up one morning and goes outside, and he sees something that stops his heart. The city they are staying in is surrounded, not by merchants, not by travelers, by an army. Horses, chariots, Syrian soldiers everywhere. The army has come for Elisha, and the servant runs back inside, terrified. He finds Elisha and says, "My master, what are we going to do?" And Elisha says, "Don't be afraid." But here's the twist. The servant can see the army. He can hear them. He can count the chariots. And Elisha says, "Those who are with us are greater in number than those who are with them." But the servant sees nothing. No army, no protection, no evidence whatsoever that they are not about to die. And Elisha prays, "Lord, open his eyes so he may see." And the servant opens his eyes, and suddenly he sees an army of horses and chariots of fire surrounding the city, protecting them. They were always there. The servant just could not see them. Here's what most people miss. The fear did not go away because the danger was not real. The fear went away because the servant's perspective changed. He saw, for the first time, that he was not alone. And this is where it gets remarkable. Skip forward to the Gospels, to Peter. Peter is in a boat with the other disciples. It is dark. The waves are high. The wind is pushing the boat around, and Peter sees something moving toward them across the water. A figure, walking on the water. Peter's first thought is not, "How is that possible?" His first thought is, "It's a ghost. I'm going to die." And Jesus says, "Take courage. It is I. Do not be afraid." But Peter does not believe it. Peter sees what looks like a ghost, and he is terrified. So he says, "Lord, if it is you, tell me to come to you on the water." And Jesus says, "Come." And Peter steps out of the boat, and he walks on the water toward Jesus. And it is only when he stops looking at Jesus and starts looking at the wind, when he lets his fear overcome his trust, that he sinks. The Greek word for fear here is phobeo. It means terror, but it also means reverence. It means to stand in awe of something, to respect its power. And the interesting thing is that fear and faith are not opposites. Fear and faith are both about recognizing that something is greater than you are. The question is, what are you afraid of? The storm, or are you in awe of the one who is calling you? Hold that thought. The disciples will hear, "Do not be afraid" again after the resurrection. Jesus appears in a locked room. The doors are shut, the windows are shut, and suddenly he is there. And the disciples think they are seeing a ghost. They are terrified. They cannot believe what they are seeing. And Jesus says, "Why are you troubled? Why do doubts rise in your minds? Look at my hands and my feet. It is I myself. Touch me and see." But the disciples are still afraid. So Jesus eats a piece of fish in front of them. He wants to prove that he is not a phantom, that he is real, that he is present, because that is what fear always comes down to. The fear that you are alone, the fear that you have been abandoned, the fear that the one you trusted has left you. And the answer to that fear is not an explanation. It is not a logical argument. It is presence. It is someone reaching out and saying, "Touch me, I am here." Now, there is one more thing. For 60 years after that locked room, Peter lived with this knowledge. He had touched the risen Jesus. He had seen him. He had eaten breakfast with him on the shore of the Sea of Galilee. He had heard Jesus say, "Do not be afraid," more times than he could count. 60 years. Peter grew old. He led the early church. He performed miracles. He was arrested. He was beaten. He was imprisoned. And then, according to the tradition recorded by Eusebius, the early church historian, Peter was arrested for the final time in Rome. And he was going to be executed. And the soldiers are going to crucify him. And Peter looks at them and he says, "I am not worthy to die the way my Lord died. Crucify me upside down." Not because he is no longer afraid, but because he has learned something in 60 years of walking with Jesus. He has learned that the promise was never, "You will not be afraid." The promise was always, "I will be with you in your fear." And so we arrive finally at Patmos. John is old now. Not 60, not 70, 90 years old. He has outlived every other disciple. He has written letters. He has been pastor to churches. He has seen the Romans begin to persecute Christians with a new intensity. And he has been exiled, sentenced to hard labor in a quarry on a small volcanic island called Patmos in the middle of the Aegean Sea. Patmos is isolated, rocky, desolate. There is almost nothing there. And John, an old man, is alone, isolated, away from his churches, away from his people, away from everything he has built his life around. And then, on a Sunday, John tells us this specifically. It was the Lord's day. He hears a voice like a trumpet, a voice like many waters, a voice like a roaring fire, a voice so loud and so powerful that he falls on his face. And the voice says, "Fear not." And John looks up, and he sees a figure. The figure is dressed in a long robe. His feet are like bronze, glowing in a furnace. His eyes are like blazing fire. His face is like the sun shining in all its brilliance. And John, after 90 years of following Jesus, falls on his face as if he is dead. And the figure puts his hand on John and says, "Fear not. I am the first and the last. I am the living one. I was dead, and now I am alive forever and ever." It is Jesus. Standing in front of John on a barren rock in the middle of the sea, and the first words are the same two words he heard 90 years ago. Fear not. But John understands now. He has lived through 90 years of history. He has watched the church grow. He has watched it face persecution. He has watched believers die. He has watched fear paralyze people. He has watched fear inspire courage. He has walked through fear himself. And now, in this moment, on this rock, isolated from everything, he hears those two words one more time. And what does Jesus say next? Write down what you have seen, what is now, and what will take place later. Not, go back to your people. Not, I will rescue you. Not, everything will be easy from here on. Write it down. Remember it. Tell them that I am still alive. I am still here. I am still with you. Not because you won't be afraid, But because fear is not the end of the story, isolation is not the end of the story. Even exile on a barren rock is not the end of the story. For 2,000 years, people have counted how many times God says, "Do not be afraid," in the Bible. They will tell you it is 361 for every day of the year. They are wrong. It is not a number. It is not a verse. It is a promise. A promise that whispers from the beginning of Scripture to the end. A promise that repeats across the centuries. A promise that speaks to a terrified girl in Nazareth. A promise that speaks to an old man alone on a rock in the sea. A promise that is speaking to you right now, in this moment, in whatever fear you are carrying. 3 truths emerge from this pattern. 3 truths that will change the way you understand fear forever. First, fear is not a sign that you have failed. It is not a sign that God is absent. It is a sign that you are standing at a threshold. You are about to step into something new, and that is always terrifying. Second, you are not the first person to feel this way. You are standing in a line of people who stretches back 4,000 years. Abram, Moses, Joshua, Elisha's servant, Peter, Mary, John, everyone. Everyone who has ever followed God has stood where you are standing right now, afraid. And God has leaned down and said the same 2 words. Third, the promise is not that you will not be afraid. The promise is not that the danger is not real. The promise is not that everything will work out the way you want. The promise is that you will not be alone. The voice that spoke to Mary is the voice that is speaking to you. The presence that surrounded John is the presence that surrounds you right now, in this moment. In your fear, you are not alone. Fear not.